For those of y'all that know who Moose is, Moose was a longtime friend of Papoose. Some people know him for his street beefs. I ain't gonna bring that back up again or whatever the case may be. If you know, you know. Moose is notorious for having, you know, going through beefs with him and Papoose together being brothers. And at some point in time, Moose and Papoose, you know, they had a little fallout. Let's get to the story. A man pled guilty on Monday to conspiring to distributing in possession with intent to distribute marijuana, in possession of firearm, in furtherance of drug trafficking crime. Pleading guilty, Taekwon Moses Armstrong, 43, admitted to being a member of the marijuana trafficking organization that shipped large quantities of drugs from Fresno, California to locations throughout the United States, including New York Capital Region. The marijuana was shipped through UPS and FedEx, and to track the packages, Armstrong, co-conspirator, texted him, shipping receipts and tracking information. Armstrong admitted to receiving at least 19 packages of marijuana from Fresno at his apartment in Rotterdam between July 2021 and June 2022, which he sold in and around Schenectady. Armstrong also admitted that his participants in the conspiracy involved at least 50 kilograms or 110 pounds of marijuana. On June 15, 2022, law enforcement executed a search warrant at Armstrong's apartment in Rotterdam and discovered 7 vacuum-sealed packages of marijuana weighing 10 pounds, which Armstrong planned to sell. The apartment contained two money counters, $18,723 in cash, which Armstrong earned by selling marijuana. Law enforcement also seized a loaded .357 revolver, a loaded .22 caliber ghost gun, and 125 rounds, .357 ammunition. Armstrong possessed the revolver and ghost gun to protect his marijuana proceeds. Look how dirty they play. The apartment also contained gold Rolex watch, a gold chain with a diamond encrusted cross pendant, and 2 gold rings encrusted with diamonds, all of which were purchased with marijuana proceeds. See how they word that? Armstrong will forfeit $18,723 in cash, the Rolex jewelry, firearm, and ammunition. So everything that you purchased with that drug money, they're seizing back. When he is sentenced, Armstrong faces at least 15 years up to life in prison, a term of post-release supervision of at least 6 years and up to life. At least 6 years and up to life. And a fine of up to $2 million. This case is being investigated by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm, and Explosives, ATF, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, and is being prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney. So now, that's enough of that. Me and Moose used to have conversations. And in my conversations that I used to have with Moose, I used to tell Moose, like, listen, you're Moose. Moose, it's time to get out the game. These people ain't playing. Everybody's getting indicted. One of the reasons why I didn't spend a lot of time with Moose in the studio or in the clubs and hanging out with Moose is because I told myself and promised myself that I wasn't going to get caught up in a situation like Casanova 2 times, where you're the actually legitimate bag. You are the legal bag. But because you're playing with people that's still playing in the streets, this is the tactic that they use to wipe you out. And I want y'all to learn from this, man. Learn from Moose's mistakes. A lot of you dudes right now are getting comfortable posting marijuana on Instagram, not realizing that the feds didn't agree to the laws that the states agreed to. So the states is letting you free. They letting you do what you want to do. But the trap is set. because the feds could come pick you up. And some of you dudes are getting your shit through the mail. It's going to catch up to you. Some of you dudes is trafficking weed from state to state. It is going to catch up to you. Now, the sad part about it is me learning, because I've never did Fed bit, but I'm learning about how the feds work. Moose has felonies. He has prior felonies. He is facing time. See the difference between the state and the Fed? When you go to the feds, whatever time you did in the state, the feds recharge. It's like they recharging you. They resentencing you. So you getting a sentence according to the felonies that you already have. Now it's what they call double jeopardy. You're getting punished again. So whatever crime that you committed, you're getting punished again by the feds. So what that means is Moose can get sentenced from 20 to up to minimum 5 years, which they're not, because he already got, in order for Moose to get 5 years for what they're charging him for, he would have to tell. So basically this brother, a strong brother that the streets need. The Fed and the states are collecting all of our warriors, and then when they spit them back out to us, they spit them out as senior citizens. And y'all not paying attention to that. See, I don't think y'all understand. They spit some of these gang members out. They spit even some of these old drug kingpins. They letting some of these dudes out, taking their life bids off. But they are not sending home dudes like Matula Shakur. They'd rather see a revolutionary mind die in the penitentiary. Why? 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 Tell them that it's human nature. Why? Why? There's no mercy for the man that fight for his people. But nevertheless, I don't want to get off a topic. I want y'all to understand something. That this court system is not playing. I've seen too many brothers go to jail, youthful, and come home with gray beards. Do you know what it's like to go to the penitentiary? And Moose ain't even a young boy. I want y'all to ask yourself a question, especially you dudes that's in you're 40 years old. You're 35, you're 40 years old. I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you have 20 years in you to do? See, it's two things. You could work a $15 an hour job in the streets, or you could go to jail pressing up license plates and Core Craft soap for a measly $7 every 2 weeks. You be the judge. Or you can go to jail and you can get the bag. See, when you in jail and these dudes be talking about I was in jail getting the bag, I was getting to the bag. That means every day of your life, that exit hole that you release into the toilet, you be doing an entry, balloons. You get the drift? Right. You be finger popping yourself. Let's get to that. Right. Who in their right mind want to live like that? Nobody in their right mind want to be stuffing loonies. You dig? It is what it is, man. My prayers go out to Moose and his family, because he's in for a hell of a ride. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Y'all dudes, could you imagine coming home from jail? You going to jail at 44 years old. And coming out 20 years later, you 64 years old, 65 years old, maybe even 60. Let's take a couple of years off. And then you got to call home as you get close to your release date to try to figure out whose couch you're going to sleep on. Because ain't no female doing all that time with you, especially at this age. Retire the streets before they retire you. Retire the streets before they retire you. It is what it is, man. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that share button. Y'all hit that subscribe button. There's a lesson to be learned in this glass bottle right here. I hope somebody learned from Moose's mistake. If you're not in the drug game, stay away from drug dealers.